Well, years ago, about 7, 8 years ago now, a group of us in Alaska were looking for some sort of a forum for like a sustainability conference. And there were probably 7 of us talking about how to do this. And 2 of the folks had been to a Bioneers conference. It wasn't familiar to me, but they had been to Bioneers, and they said, hey, now they're doing these satellite conferences, maybe we should look at that model. And that was in 2004 that we actually applied to the big Bioneers to be a satellite site, and we ended up getting accepted as a satellite site, and we've been one ever since.
Bioneers is about the only place I have seen where they focus entirely on solutions, as she said, on hopeful solutions. The most creative responses people are having to social issues, economic issues, ecological issues, and how they are all connected. And so people come to Bioneers, I think, because we all need to see the best ideas out there to re-inspire ourselves on that front, but also to connect with the people in our local communities who are doing the work on the ground.
Whether it's on topics of climate change or community activism or whatever, the hottest topics that our culture has a tendency to not want to look at. I am most interested in getting those kind of things out in my community, and this is where I get that information.
And what's key with Bioneers is that they foster very practical solutions that restore Earth's ecosystems and heal humans at the same time. Bioneers understand that environmental and social issues we face today are all interconnected, and that it's all really just one problem at the end of the day.
When you're in a small village, you only have a limited set of supplies. You don't have very many resources. Sometimes you have to fight for the standard of care that we're taught to give. Oftentimes a physician will say, oh, you only have a small village of 500, you can't be dealing with something like that. The luxury of being able to go to the store is not a reality in many of our villages. In our village, we have a store associated with AC Commercial. But many of our villages have very few items in their store if they have a store at all. To have the money to try to feed your families, for my family to be over $1,000. $1,000 in 2 weeks to buy food out of that store.
Please let it be understood that subsistence hunting in this community and a few others is more than a choice, but a lifestyle due to necessity as well as culture.
So what are the solutions? Well, of course, using food as a tool to organize. I heard that genetically modified food was in our food system about the same time that I heard that 80% of corn and soy was genetically engineered. And I was really concerned about it. And I got really concerned when I was looking at the cover of the New York Times, and they had this color picture of Greenpeace dumping 10 tons of genetically modified grain on Tony Blair's driveway. And the first thought to me, in my mind was like, how is he going to clean that up?